and such a large field of candidates still vying for attention.
Yeah, it was very spicy, and everyone was trying to, stand out from the crowd. They're trying to get to that top two before June, looking to break away from their big moments last night. And with the primary election getting closer, many people had expected some fireworks to come out of last night's debate, but even we didn't expect this.
We can't have a governor who doesn't understand how the government works.
And we don't need a talking head from Fox News to tell us how the government works.
It's a huge financial liability for the state of California.
It's single payer. You want it somewhere else.
Excuse me.
Single payer.
I'm speaking.
I know you are. Single payer people come to America for the best medical coverage and care in the entire world.
And what if you don't have any health care? What are you going to do for the people who need
I thought I got to answer.
So that we can pay for health care.
Thank you, Mr. Steyer. And Mr. Thurman, really quickly, it's interesting. Everybody wants to talk at this debate, so that means we're doing a good job.
I think so.
Right?
I think we're going to move on to a touchy-feely moment.
This is worse than my teenagers
every candidate has.
Well, I spoke with our political analyst out of UC Santa Cruz, Nolan Higdon, to see if he was surprised how that debate turned out and what it means for the race going forward.
In a race that's this close, I think folks on that stage are really looking to make some name for themselves and stand out with kind of that debate moment, something that folks will pay attention to online, if you will. I think Javier Becerra certainly tried to do that, and I would say succeeded pretty well. Those exchanges with Hylton really drew a lot of attention, and I think set him out in the field as someone who's a fighter against the Republicans, which a lot of Democrats in the state want to see.
And in such a packed field, like who rose to the top? Who do you think is going to benefit from last night's performance?
Although I think it'll be a meager benefit, I think Javier Becerra is probably the one who benefited most. Again, other folks were participating in a lot of shouting and talking over one another, but didn't really stand out for anything unique. But I think Javier Becerra really kind of established himself as someone who is a fighter, which a lot of Democrats, again, want to see. And he's also done a really great job in his campaign, kind of picking up some of the space that was left once Representative Eric Swalwell left the race, both in terms of ads and just messaging.
With the candidates just talking over each other, basically fighting and arguing on stage, do the voters actually benefit from that? Do they get to see a different side of the candidates that maybe they haven't seen otherwise?
I think there's something to that. As much as we would like elections to be all about policy and kind of rational thinking, the personality does get in there. And looking like someone who interrupts others or is rude or can't listen to others, those can be things that can play negatively for voters. So I think it does have an impact, certainly, on how voters think about candidates.
And let's talk about two of the front runners. Do you see either the Republicans, Bianco or Hylton, separating themselves and getting traction in the polls? Or are they going to kind of just stick together and kind of rise to the top and maybe two Republicans make it to the general election?
I don't really see two Republicans making it to the top of the ticket, especially in a state like California. I think that would be pretty unprecedented. However, I do think Steve Hylton does seem to have a shot here. He has seemed to resonate pretty well with Republican voters in California. One has to wonder if Bianco does drop out, will we see Hylton get even a little more of the vote percentage, perhaps really protect himself in the front runner status? And I bet you a lot of Republicans are having that conversation right now.
Well, a little over 2 weeks from now, we're going to have another chance to hear from the candidates on Thursday, May 14th. CBS California will host another debate in partnership with the San Francisco Examiner. Our live coverage starts at 5:30.